Hello, everybody. My name is Stefan Erson, and thank you for watching this alumni video. Quick questions. People ask us, how do you have the idea of creating alumni websites? It's very easy. 2020 was a very difficult year in the aerospace. Many of people have lost their job. But there was one company which has been badly hit. It's Airbnb. And Airbnb created a wonderful website to help all the 25% employee. They have to furlough. And I think that was a great idea. So we decided with Odia, the co-founder, to create this website and to put everything online, which is a blog, a job board, how to create your startup, and mentorship. So all the toolbox is here. So we're here to help. If you have any question on the aerospace, or if you have any ideas of how we can help the aerospace community, please come and see us, and we will be very happy to host you on our website. Thank you very much, and see you soon on the alumni flight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Alumnair. We are a free community-based website supporting the aerospace and travel tech communities to rebound after the COVID-19 crisis. As Stefan just said, we look forward to welcoming you on alumnair.com. And in addition, we're looking to expand our Alumnair team. So why not join your skills to ours to make Alumnair an even better experience for our users? Talk to us on contact@alumnair.com. Today, we're delighted to welcome Kriss Akabusi MBE. Kriss is a world champion athlete. He is a former TV presenter. He is a very well-known keynote speaker. And also he is a community activist supporting young people in the UK to transition towards self-sufficiency. Kriss is also on the board of the Airbus Foundation, and this is where I was lucky enough to meet him on a few occasions. So today we are so happy to have Kriss Akabusi with us on Alumnair. So Kriss, it's great to have you with us today. You're very welcome to Alumnair. And I'm going to kick off with the very first question. So we've already mentioned that you're on the board of the Airbus Foundation, but if we talk a little bit more about aviation and flying and so on, tell us, what is your personal relationship with flying?
I'll tell you what, I mean, I first started flying, well, seriously, when I was about 16, 17, and the first plane I took was an Airbus. It was an Airbus from Dusseldorf to England. And I remember the postcards, and I got the postcard and I sent that back to my then wife and say, oh, I'm on an Airbus. And so that's my first introduction to Airbus. But you are quite right. 2008, I became a member of the Airbus Foundation. Airbus wanted to make sure that where all its entities are all over the globe, that its colleagues had an opportunity to, first of all, invest in their community, but then also do good works internationally. And so the foundation was part of the foundation board of experts, and my expertise was young people, because I do work with young people. So I could feed into the board my experiences with young people, what might and might not work.
Kriss, it's a pleasure to have you today. You have been to 3 Olympic Games. You won the World Cup in '91 with this famous race that we're gonna, of course, discuss about it today, about how to rebound and about resilience and preparation. You've been a successful athlete and, of course, a successful businessman. How do you transpose your experience in sport into of course, the business arena?
World-class businesses and world-class sport have this in common. To be world-class, you have to have absolute clarity about what you're about. In order to achieve the goal, you yourself, the individual, will have a real key expertise that is of material benefit to achieving the goal. But it'll be only one, and that gives you your significance in the team. So once you know who you are and what you're about, you have significance in the team because you know that you deliver your expertise and you're 100% committed to the overall goal. And then you're surrounded by like-minded individuals who have a unifying principle and an organizing dream to achieve that goal. And that, for me, is the essence. There are rules and regulations, there are time frames, there are a variety of resources, but it's about the clarity, the focus, the commitment, the dedication, and all of us knowing our significant role in delivering the overall objective.
Thank you very much for this insight, Kriss. In fact, Mark Cuban, the billionaires, used to say, focus for the sake of purpose. And this is exactly what you said today about your experience. And you had, I think also, you had dedication and personal discipline. That's a very, very great insight. Last year was a tremendous year, so of course, for the alumni community and for the aerospace community, but also for the Olympics game. I mean, how do you prepare yourself when you're an athlete and you have to be champion the year after you plan to be? How do you work on that?
So the Olympics this year, so this is very interesting because so many athletes would have been preparing for the Olympics last year. And unfortunately, there will be some people who were in the peak of shape for 2020 that will be on a decline in 2021. There will be others who would not have been quite ready in 2020 who will be in their golden period moment in 2021. And that is the dice, and that's the world we live in. You know, we like to have this left brain, logical certainty. We like to rely on our Apollonian scientific redactive learning. But every now and again, the world throws in something that says, it doesn't work like that. I can't affect anybody else in the room. I've got to step up in the here and now and deliver my greatness.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Kriss. And the here and now. So what is Kriss Akabusi in the here and now? What are you doing today? And what drives the work you do today, Kriss?
That's a fabulous question, Anya. It's interesting. I've been giving this a lot of thought recently because I'm now 62, 63. And, you know, I've had a great athletic career, good business career, 30-year business career. And this is going to sound morbid, but, you know, I'm very aware of my mortality. And even if we're the best will in the world, if we say we have 80 years, that's 80 years of productive life on Earth, and that's a good life, I've got 17 left. And so I really am at a stage of my life where I'm asking myself, okay, what is this journey really, really, really about? I've had my time of making medals. I've had my time of making money. But what's my life really, really about? And when I'm asked to define what success is, I define success in life as the life you lead, the lessons you learn, and the legacy you leave. Let me say that again. The life you lead, the lessons you learn, and the legacy you leave. I'm very, very aware now that in these last 17 years, it's about my legacy. What do I want my children to carry on? I've got 4 children that have come into this world, and I've gone on a journey with them. But there's so much more of the journey that they're going to carry on where I won't be there. What's the legacy I want to leave with them? I do a lot of work with young people. These young people are going into deep into the 21st century. They'll be there 2060, 2070, 2080. What's a legacy that I want to leave with them? What's the rippling effect? You know, so that my life has meaning beyond my here and now. It's in there and then. And so I'm very, very mindful of how I invest in people. So, for example, you've given me this great opportunity. You've given me this opportunity to be on your fabulous net alumni. And I know that there's something that I'm going to say that's going to impact somebody who will be here long after I'm just a memory, long after I'm gone. And so it's these opportunities that you get where you just get to trickle your expertise, your wisdom, and your life learning. You get to do the rippling, that butterfly effect. You get to leave things for posterity.
At 5, I think, out of your 12 medals were in one in relay. How do you manage personal training and just for inspirational for our audience? How do you manage the, I will say, personal training and I will say success in a team? Because that's 2 things very different.
Yeah. So I will say that the relay team was always the icing on the cake. As an individual, you know, it's always, athletes are very self-centered. The world revolves around you. When you're at the grassroots, competition can be ferocious and it can be very, very ugly. But when you're at the top end, the top 3 or 4 or 5%, competition is actually much more about collaboration. Because when you compete with people who are at the peak of their game, by definition, the standard rises another 10, 15%. So that you yourself are going to perform whatever happens 10, 15% better because you are in the arena of champions. So they are your collaborators to bring out your greatness. That's why there is a way when you operate with people at that level, there's utter respect. When you vanquish 7 other world-class athletes, there's utter respect. You could never have done it without their collaboration.
What is your feedback on the youngsters today doing sport? Is it the same as the same type of, I will say, career, or the same type of mindset as you had at your time?
So Stefana, so I work with young people, but not in sport. I work with young people. So part of my background that I've not really put forward here yet is that I was brought up in a children's home. Children's homes where orphans and abandoned children, or parents who've got chaotic lifestyles who can't look after children. In the UK, we put them into children's homes. I don't know what it is in France or anywhere else. And so I was brought up in a children's home. And for me, one of the most difficult transitions, because everyone who's listening to this, you know, you've had to make a transition. You know, the air industry, like so many industries, have been decimated because of the pandemic, and you're faced with this transition. Now, the thing that you've got on your side is you've got history, you've got a network, you've got skill sets, you know your significance, you've got your worth. But when you are a kid in the children's home and you have to leave the children's home, you still feel insignificant. You haven't got the family network, things that go chaotic in your life. And so my work is with young people, 16 to 24, who are making a transition from care into what I call self-sufficiency. They've got to find their way in the world. They've got to get into work. They've got to find their mentor figure. They've got to know who they are and what they've got to contribute. And they've got to elevate their self-worth. And so now, those young people never cease to amaze me with the resilience that they've got. And I guess it's just part of the human trait. You know, we are resilient animals. You know, we do use our rational faculties to understand where we are and where we come from. And hopefully we understand that the past is for reference, not for residence. You can't live in the past, but you can take the best elements out of your past for your preferred and better future. And that's what I find, that when I work with these young people and I say, okay, you've got this storyboard and you put it together like this, how else could you see it? What strengths could you see out of your past? Now can we build going forward in your here and now for your preferred and better future? And it's amazing what they make of themselves.
Kriss, in 1991, you won the World Championship in Tokyo. Even the speakers didn't believe in you, because 200 meters before the race, before the end of the race, when you were really at the last corner, he said, America first, England second. How can you decide this is going to be the day and talk to your 3 colleagues and said, that's going to be the day. Today, we're going to make history?
That's a great question, Stefana. So I'm going to tell you, you see, first of all, you're right. The Americans were the best. And if you took their times, all their times, and took all of our times, and you laid them side by side, they'd be 10 meters ahead of us. But that's logical thinking. The world doesn't actually work like that. And so when we got together and we discussed our strategy, and we came up with this new way of working, and briefly put, what we, in this relay, normally, if I ask you your delegates, or everyone else, if I ask you in a relay team, 4 guys, 4 people, where would you put your best man? I'll ask you, where in the relay team, where do you put your best athlete in the relay team? Tell me, where do you put your best person?
I would say instinctively at the end.
Exactly, Anya. Exactly, Anya. Exactly. And you're not wrong. You know, everybody we do that. But what we realized by doing that, we were conceding ground to the Americans, because by the time we get the back to our last runner, they'd be long gone. So we did it the other way around. We put our best guy first, second best guy second, third, and myself the 400-meter hurdler on the last leg.
But the United States and Great Britain, firm allies, of course, politically, but bitter rivals here on the track. The lineup is Morocco, Cuba, Great Britain, Jamaica, the world and Olympic champions, the United States, Yugoslavia, Germany, and Kenya. And away they go. And will the tactic that the British have used to shake up the Americans work here, of using Roger Black on the first leg? He is their ace. The Americans, they have Andrew Valman, who finished behind Black in the individual event. The relays, though, can sometimes be a different story. The Kenyans are going fast towards the outside here, by the look of things too. Valman is beginning to really turn up the gas around that bend for the Americans. Black's having to work to hold on to him, and Valman's done well here. And Black's made no material impression on the Americans, so has that worked? Well, we'll see later. And the handover coming up now. Who's going to hand over first? America and Britain right together. Up front, United States and Great Britain still locked in a terrific battle. Kenya and Jamaica, third and fourth. Germany, 5. Yugoslavia, 6. John Regis starts to attack Danny Everett. What a leg Regis has run here. He's held on to one of the top 400-meter runners in the world. And he's really a 200-meter specialist. And they hand over this time. Still America and Britain, hardly anything between them. A tremendous battle this really is between them. And it's going to be Pettigrew against Akabusi on the last leg. Pettigrew, the individual champion. Akabusi, bronze medalist in the 400-meter hurdles.
44.2 for Regis.
200 meters to go. Pettigrew under threat. Surely Akabusi can't do this, can he, against the 400-meter specialist? USA 1, Britain 2. The race for the bronze medal being led by the Jamaicans at the moment. Pettigrew, hang on. Here comes Akabusi on his outside. Kriss Akabusi trying to drive for the goal. Pettigrew is tying up. And Kriss Akabusi, this will be a tremendous victory if he does, and he does. It's Britain's gold. USA silver. And Jamaica get the bronze medal. And that was a tremendous run from Kriss Akabusi, the 400-meter hurdler, to beat the individual 400-meter champion on the last leg. 2 minutes 57.54, and Britain upset the Americans and take the gold.
Now, with that tactical switch, we also then affected the ambience in the arena, because the Americans are not understanding what we're doing. And that's the key, is that if you can get the world focused on you and what you're doing, you get a little bit of a competitive advantage. And so by doing that now, so we go for the legs. Now, when I'm watching all the guys running, I'm getting encouragement because they're all doing their stuff, and it's just right. And what we had said that is on the last leg, I needed to be within touching distance of the guy on the last leg. Don't put me up 2 or 3 meters. And the reason being, if I was 2 or 3 meters ahead of the guy, he'd have burnt me up for breakfast, because I'd have had to do all the work. But if I'm on a touching distance, then there's something called the peloton effect. If you're into cycling, you know that the person that goes first has to breaks the wind, and there's a vortex behind him or her, and behind that vortex there's a lee side, and that draws you in, literally gives you extra, because it's easier, there's no friction, and the wind draws you in. So for me, the differential that he was better than me was made up by being tucked up in his lee side. And that was it. So I was so confident because it's all coming to plan. I'm on his jockstrap. I'm on the lee side. I'm going round, and just needed to execute at the right time. come off the turn, I run past him, I'm going towards the line, and the only time that I doubted that we could do this was with about 30 meters to go. I'm in the lead, and then all of a sudden, my focus was on me and not us. While I had us in the frame, there was that multiplier effect, social facilitation effect. I'm not on my own, and we're in it together, and we're delivering. The moment it was about me and about my expertise, I began to falter. Fortunately for me, the line came and we won. But there's a lesson there. Staying in the moment, being in the team, trusting the strategy, going with the flow.
Thank you very much, Kriss, for this very inspirational talk. It was great to have you today. Personally, what I remember for what you just said is your definition of success, how you define yourself or your success, is the life you lead, the lesson you learned, and the legacy you leave. I think that's a very, very great insight. And I remember also for me, which I've been a little bit in sport, is that at this very high level, your competitors are your collaborators. You have to work in a team to pass the 15% and be able to top that. That's a very, very great insight. Thank you very much for being with us today.
My pleasure. Once again, I wish you guys well. And I know you're going to leave a legacy. Well after you're gone, you're going to leave a legacy. Many, many people are going to find their way because of what you guys have done. So well done. God bless you.